What is your name?
My name is Kyle Smith,
How old are you?
44.
What is your occupation?
I am the founder and executive director of the GRAAFICS program.
And what is the graphics program exactly?
GRAAFICS stands for Gang Diversion, Reentry, and Absent Fathers Intervention Center. It's a social-emotional program that provides behavior modification services to middle schools and high schools in New York.
Great. Do you live in Brownsville?
I don't live in, I live in Brownsville by default. You know, I live that's funny, I live in Brownsville. I don't live in Brownsville, I don't sleep in Brownsville, but probably 20 hours of my day, 6 days a week is spent in Brownsville.
What do you think of Brownsville?
I think Brownsville is a place that has been neglected for probably 100 years now. I remember when I was in college, one of my professors had us read a book, and the book was talking about social emotional changes and things that are going on in urban communities. And this book, it was an old book. I think it had been published in like the 40s. And one particular chapter, they showed some pictures of Brooklyn. They showed some pictures of Bed-Stuy, and they showed some pictures of what Brownsville looked like back in the 30s. And what struck a chord with me, what captured my interest was the fact that it's on record that the community of Brownsville has been, and I don't know if ignored is a harsh word, but resources have not been coming into the community of Brownsville all the way back since like the 30s. So I think Brownsville is a community that has been underdeveloped, underappreciated, under-resourced, underfunded for a significant period of time, and it's time for that to stop. There are some great minds. We already know there are great rappers and great athletes and those kind of people that come out of Brownsville. But I think that if individuals would make the decision to take a chance with Brownsville, I think that if individuals would make the decision to infuse some resources into Brownsville, you just may get the next president of the United States from Brownsville. You just may get the next Steve Jobs or the next Jeff Bezos or the next Bill Gates out of Brownsville. I mean, you know, if you really want to call a spade, the greatest man that ever touched the basketball is from Brownsville. Michael Jordan was born right here in Brooklyn. You know, so I think that Brownsville is a community that has been underserviced for a long period of time, and that needs to stop.
Do you think you're an everyday hero?
I don't want to be a hero, man. I don't want to be a role model. I don't want to be a hero, but I think that I'm forced into that position because I've accepted in my life a long time ago to do what's right even when it's not cool. So I'm going to do what's right even when it hurt, even when it's not popular, even when I'm the only person doing it. If everybody is against me, if people hate me, I'm going to do what's right because it's the right thing to do. I don't think I'm a hero. I just think that I am repaying a debt. Anyone that knows me, anyone that has had any time investigating the program knows that I'm one of the formerly incarcerated. I served 16 years in prison in 3 different states. And when I was in prison, I said this when I was on WABC here and now. When I was in prison, I made one prayer and I asked God one prayer. I said, if you love me as much as my grandmother say you do, then you will get me home in time enough for my grandmother to see me make something out of myself before she died. I have 5 college degrees now, my grandmother is still alive. So I kind of feel like he did that favor for me. And God is the kind of person that God is the entity that he's not going to give you a warning on what favor he wants from you. You just got to recognize it when you see it. And the favor to him, I kind of feel like it was his program. Because there's been a lot of times when I wanted to just throw the towel in. And there was a lot of times, I have an MBA, I have 5 college degrees, one of them is an MBA. There's a lot of times I wanted to just be like, man, fuck this shit. I'm going to Wall Street. But, it's the kids, man, and you can make a difference in a kid's life, man. You can hope that something that you do can get them from point A to point B. It just wakes you up in the morning and keeps you pushing forward. So I sent out an email to some colleagues today and I said, if GRAAFICS was a car, then the gasoline for the car would be the smile and the laughter of kids. And that's like, so GRAAFICS is bigger than me, man. I'm trying to build something that's going to be here 100 years after I'm gone. So when you accept that reality, you have no choice but to walk the line. You know, you have no choice but to walk the talk that other people are talking. So I don't have the leisure to talk because everybody else is talking. So I have to walk what everybody else is talking. You know, so it's I don't think that I'm a hero. I just think that I'm just doing something, and you know, like people just understand my story, man. I don't do nothing amazing. I don't do nothing different. I find kids and I tell them from the beginning, man, I am going to love you down, but when you're wrong, I'm gonna get up in your area. And if that's a fair exchange, then you rock with me, and if not, then keep pushing. You know, and that's what it is. So I don't think I'm a hero, man. I think I just, you know, I just got people with me that understand it is what it is. You know.
In your opinion, what is an everyday hero?
I don't even know, man, to be honest with you, because I think back to when I was a kid, like I put myself in the shoes of kids today, and I think back to when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, the number one thing that I didn't want adults to do to me, that they always did, is lie to me. Like I could never understand, like, why adults would lie to kids, for what reason? Like it makes absolutely no sense. So in answer to that question, I really wouldn't want to put that kind of pressure on the person, because you can't, for me, I wouldn't say it's the pastor of a church, because the pastor of a church is human. He may get a speeding ticket, he may curse, he may smack somebody, I don't know. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on a person. So probably the person that you believe is your higher power should be your everyday hero, because that's somebody that you can just give your all to. You ain't got to worry about being judged. You ain't got to worry about hearing it again. You ain't got to worry about somebody throwing it up in your face. You don't have to, you know what I mean? So I think that people should just, if a person is going to look for an everyday hero, look to the person that you can confide in, that you can get something from, and you don't have to worry about that person throwing that back in your face. A human being, at some point, will have the opportunity to throw something back in your face that you tell them. So I don't put that kind of pressure on a person. So my higher power, my everyday hero is my righteous self. I believe in God, but I just believe in doing the right thing. So my everyday hero is going home knowing that I did everything that I could for that day, and tomorrow is a new day. So if I had to put a name on it, karma would be my everyday hero.
Okay, and please repeat your name for us.
My name is Kai Smith.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.